consciousness is the absolute, is the level of 1000. Full consciousness is also very natural. It's a natural state. So, as you know, according to the map of spirituality, there are many levels of consciousness. And these levels indicate the degree of returning back to the natural self. And the density of the mind becomes lighter and lighter. We disidentify from the mental structures and forms, which are known as very dense structures, are known as ego, but there are many lighter forms and structures of the mind as well. So as we go higher in consciousness, the structures are lighter, and that density of the mind reduces. So when I look at people, I have also ability to see the density of the mind, and also the openness of the heart and their energy field. And unfortunately, everyone is carrying their own density or their own world on top of their shoulders. And once this separate world dissolves, we come to know that there is one world, that there is one consciousness, one reality. There is no separation. The separations are created forms and structures of the mind, which creates those filters and a sense of distance between each other. The natural state is something with which we're all born. The full consciousness and natural state is our birthright. We're born with it. But at a young age, the mind comes in and it takes over the identity. So natural state is something that we are familiar with. It is something that we are born with. It is something that is already here. It is so natural and so close that yet we always overlook it. Habitually, we're used to follow our thoughts, our mind, our understandings, and yet something which is so natural, we overlook it. It also requires a certain degree of realization to be able to return back to the natural self, so that not only our inner light would remember itself, but also so that our body nervous system would heal and let go of all the traumas that we experienced since the childhood. So there are many diseases and distortions that we have accumulated, and these are layers upon layers which veil the natural self. The natural self is so easy, it is so here and so now. The deeper we relax, the more closer we come to it, because it's very effortless. It is very spontaneous. it is thoughtless. So as we go through the degrees of enlightenment, the density of the mind decreases, and we need less and less thoughts, less and less constant need to understand, and therefore naturally we already know. So our intuition is a glimpse. Our intuition already knows, and therefore the natural state is always aware. It always knows. There is no need actually of the mind. The mind is perfect when it is empty and silent. Then the mind can easily see and know directly. As soon as we step into the thought, our energy field contracts and we come into a narrow stream of energy. We step out of the wholeness into a small stream of reality. So the mind is really perfect when it is empty, when it is completely open, when there is no need to understand, and yet the knowing is fully available. So in the natural state we know everything about every single moment. But it is not a book knowledge, it is not an intellectual knowledge. It is a direct experience of life, reality, directly as it is and fully as it is. So there is a direct and immediate knowing. It is not an accumulated knowledge. It is so direct and so deep and so sharp that every moment is completely obvious. There is no question about it. There is no doubt about it. There is no worry about it. And therefore the mind is empty, and therefore the body can truly relax. So the natural state is very comfortable, it's very relaxing, it's very enjoyable. It is full of aliveness and direct knowingness. So we have to literally relearn how to live spontaneously, freely, directly. And in that process of relearning, this is where we meet and we do meditations and many practices. And the ultimate practice is the full consciousness transmission, because it directly helps you to recognize that natural state. It directly helps you to experience it and to remember it. And therefore you can easily start to let go of the mental structures and habits and all the heaviness which was accumulated over the long periods of time. So today is the invitation for everyone to experience your natural self. And later we come to see that when we get caught up in our mind or some other energies, our body contracts, and there is usually some kind of contraction on the chest or in the head, and we kind of remain there. We remain in that bubble of the mind or of the chest, like some heaviness. And imagine there is no contraction. It is always open. You know, like the wind blows and it just blows through. It doesn't touch. Any energy comes and it just passes. It doesn't touch. So any feelings, emotions, they come and they just pass. Everything always flows. So this complete openness is when everything always flows. We don't keep anything. We don't get stuck in any bubble, in any contraction. So it's always open and always flowing. And this is why it is so alive, because every moment is alive, is not stuck. When we say, oh, I'm bored, or it's always the same, why? Because we're always in the same stuckness, energy, contraction. This is why the mind gets bored. This is why we experience a mundane living. It's always the same. Well, the present moment is never the same. Like Buddha said, you can never step into the same river twice, because it always flows. It's always different. It's always new, refreshing. So in the natural state, we are always open. We are always aware of what is happening. We're always aware of every instant, every moment. And we are not caught up in any thoughts, in any spaces or bubbles. So also a practice is to become aware every moment. For those who practice presence, it is to become aware every moment. Where is your attention? Is it stuck somewhere? Is it in some kind of bubble, contraction? And by recognizing this, you have the power to right away step out of the bubble, to step out of the river of thought and come back to the aliveness of the present moment. So this is the power that we have. Our awareness, attention and focus has a great power. These are one of the biggest powers and instruments that we have to direct our attention and our focus in the right place, out from negativity into the light, from the fear to love, from the darkness to consciousness. So we always have this power to direct our awareness, attention and focus back into the source, into the full consciousness. Okay.
Like I don't have any makeup.
If you're weightless.
Like melting.
Okay, good. That is also when your energy fully opens, it starts to flow. And the heaviness which you were holding, it melts away. So again, your body already is healing. Your body is receiving and healing. It is allowing itself to melt the heaviness. Well, whatever has been blocking, it came to the present moment. And it means that it needed to receive in order to reduce that blockage.
I was trying, but I couldn't jump into.
Yes, because this is a lot different than a normal meditation. This also can show you instantly if there is any blockage. And as I said, you can direct your attention behind the blockage into the openness and allow the healing to take place.
When I'm feeling super relaxed, I allow this energy to go to my body, my chakras. So physically I'm feeling really good. But I miss that feeling.
Yes, yes. This energy will remain for about a day or two, and it will keep on working on your system. So even when you come back home, you can just relax and allow the healing to continue. Because this is a very, very high vibrational energy, and it was going through your whole system, and it will continue and finalize for the next 2 days or so. Right? When there is an issue that is constantly in your mind, how about you give more space? You can even visualize saying, okay, this is the issue, it's right here, and let me give a bit more space. And just to remain for a few moments in that bigger space. Because you see, the issues are like energy streams, and you get caught up in them. And by recognizing that it is an energy stream, and you can give a bit more space for a few moments, suddenly you step out of it and you start seeing from a deeper and bigger place. And that allows the issue to be seen more clearly and a deeper answer or solution to arise. It could be yes and no, but what is mostly needed with the strong energies and if there are difficult circumstances, with the strong energies is to bring softness, gentleness. And with the difficult issues is to bring more space. So that will help you to move a lot easier. It will help you to deal with strong energies and things a lot easier. Okay, let's come to this side now.
As well, I could feel my mind, which was blocking at first, but it felt it. It was releasing. I could feel like here, my tummy was like
Some energy, yes.
I was getting harder.
Okay, good. Yes, and a general sense of calmness. Any visuals, any colors or
White light.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was picturing the white light and it was opening.
Yes, that is good, yes. Yes, it helps you to open more inner light.
And the points, like, I felt much lighter and brighter as well. Like, as if somebody put up the lights, all my eyes were closed. And I wouldn't even say I see clearly with my eyes, but I feel clearer.
Yes.
You know, I feel like with my eyes, I don't think what you're saying. You know what I mean?
Yes.
No, but I really saw today how like my mind is here in comparison to me. And I really worked a lot this week on saying it's not going to control me. No, when it comes about it's just my challenger. It's
Yes,
just it.
yes, yes.
Sometimes before it told me when I feel these healing sensations.
Now let's come back to the aspect of clarity. Even as you look through your eyes, there is already awareness or consciousness which enables you to see through your eyes. Now close your eyes and you will recognize that you still see. You see your eyes closed. There is still seeing happening. That seeing is the consciousness, is the awareness. Whether your eyes are open or closed, you still see. You see the blankness or eyes being closed, but you still are fully aware and you still see fully this moment. So the eyes are only one of the 5 senses, but consciousness is beyond the senses. It's actually beyond the body. It is beyond the mind, because consciousness is aware of the mind. Consciousness already sees the thoughts happening. Or even if you get caught up in a mind, you still see that you're caught up in a mind. So that is the ultimate seeing that you always see. Even if you're caught up in the mind, or even if you're afraid, you still see, oh, there's a seeing of being afraid, or there's a seeing of being caught up in the mind, or there is a seeing of contraction, a seeing of challenge. Stay with the seeing, because that is the source. You will always find freedom in that seeing, because it is always above. Things are happening in front of the seeing.
But the meditation was mainly about, I just disappeared out of my body. I just kind of, I don't know, I went somewhere else. I mean, I was here, but my...
The boundaries may be dissolved.
Yeah. And also I had this idea that my head was kind of floating in the sea. My body wasn't anymore. And then like it was just kind of the water coming up and up and up and more and more. Everything under the water was just dissolving. And then it was just this little piece up here that didn't really want to go. But yeah, it was very pleasant.
Yeah.
Being like
Dissolving.
feeling, yeah, not like this is not the limit.
Yes. It's a boundless feeling. Yes. And when you step into this boundless feeling, just experiment how far you can see, how far it can go. Because it is literally the infinite universe. And literally the source itself, which is completely boundless. And that is why it is called the absolute freedom. Because nothing can bind the source.
I'm overwhelmed like it now. It's like electricity is coming up from my body because it's 25 years ago.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yes. The healing, it happens because that light then comes into your energy centers, and then through them comes into your physical body, and it helps to balance, heal, remove certain clutter or what was blocked before. So in a way it's a miracle, in another way it's a healing of light.